Feed her the onions! Welcome back to this video where we're gonna revive a 69 F250 Ranger camper special. Let's get this thing running.
So I guess the guy bought this rig because it got cool patina.
So this right here is a 69 F250. It got a 360 FE in it. Actually, I don't know if it's 360 or 390. Might be a 390, we don't know. Then it got a 3-speed automatic. Everything else is like every other F250, you know, clapped out and actually not rusty. This thing is mint, no rust in it at all. It's even more rust-free than my own one over there. So it got a lot of work, mechanical work. So we're gonna go through brakes, transmission. Hopefully that just works when we get the engine working. And the engine. Now the guy we bought it from said the engine is done. Basically it's just smoking a lot and it got like low compression, I guess he was trying to say. We're gonna figure it out. I have no idea like the backstory. Just came from USA, dropped it off here. Now we bought it. Now we're gonna try to get it running. So to find out a little bit more story about this truck, I'm gonna check out these shelves he made here in the bed. That's maybe gonna tell a guy a little bit background knowledge on what the hell is going on in this car. So first of all, I found exhaust hanger, fuel filter that's exploded. This, a Ford FE rocker camshaft, or whatever, rocker shaft. That's literally cracked right here. I really don't hope that's from this engine, but I don't know. Look at this. A pack of brand new AC spark plugs. 7 of them actually. So this truck probably went through a lot of spark plugs, breather caps, so it used a lot of oil, so under compression, no compression, maybe also some valve stem stuff. Then we got a push rod, that's not a good sign. Another breather cap, old brake pads, so hopefully somebody changed them.
This is what we're dealing with, fellas. Big old big block Ford. You already know. Goddamn unit. 0 torque, 0 horsepower. Great years, huh?
So first thing we're gonna do actually on the agenda is just trying to crank it and listen for any weird sounds and maybe also get a feeling of got any compression, you know what I mean? Let's try that real quick and throw in a battery. You already know, so we got the one with the go handle. Better for the back. Ah. I have no idea what is ground or plus here. Both wires are black. Just gonna send it. So we should be able to take there's like a ground wire from this with fuel pump somewhere. It runs up here. Yeah. Okay. And then I would assume that needs ground. Something moved there. I don't know what. Okay, it's a new battery and cleaned up. Tried to turn on the electric pump now. It made a sound. I think we filled up the float bowl or whatever. Pumped the accelerator a little bit. I'm just gonna try to crank it now. Alright. Another dead battery probably. We got power, we got compression, and we actually have a little bit of spark. However, I think this engine is like really moist, oil everywhere. So the spark plugs are probably done. So we're gonna get them out and clean them up. But listen to this, healthy engine, compression. Okay, maybe skipping on like 1 or 2, but sounds healthy, okay? So with a little bit juice, a jump pack, and clean spark plugs, perhaps, I don't know. I'm already thinking big exhaust leaks and a lot of blow by because the PCV valves up here, they're all everywhere. And down by the manifolds, black. Pretty much fire down there, has been there at some point. So I clearly just took a spark plug that was cracked and destroyed and the wrong type and put it in again. You know, spark plug is a spark plug. Something. So here's the setup we got going right now. We got a car charging on it and a fresh battery.
Yeah, that's not so great. Whatever.
So let's see if we can get this thing started. I just checked. We got spark plugs. As you saw, really bad. But let's just try. See if we can make it happen somehow.
Cheese and stoner boys! Damn! Cheese and chong in here. Yeah, that's nice. So the thing runs right now. Float house, needle seat or something is stuck because the electric pump doesn't really want to get fuel inside the carburetor. Now I just tried with a little bit of fuel, just pouring it down the carburetor, and I actually made it run a lot better than on starting fluid. However, oil pressure, don't see it. No, we don't. And then also we have a massive blow-by leak coming through the two PCV valves. So definitely some I don't know, compression missing there or going somewhere where it doesn't belong. Either valve stems or maybe compression rings, but I don't know. It seems really excessive the way it just pushes out of the PCV. I don't know if that would only be piston rings, but we don't know yet. But what I want to do right now is take the valve covers off and see if there's any oil up there. If it's actually getting oil right now. Because without oil pressure, we're not going to try to mess with this anymore. Then we're just going to pull the thing and see why we don't have oil pressure. And pretty much just give new rings, hone it, maybe bearings too, and whatever causes the oil pressure, gonna change that too. So right now, I'm just gonna try to get a valve cover up. Probably this should be easiest. I don't know, maybe not. So it looks like they've been using silicone instead of gasket on this, so that's gonna be really fun to get off. As you also can see, they kind of smash in the valve covers, probably when they try to hammer it off, so that's great. Very nice. Somewhat sounds decent. You know, it's a Ford FE, so we got massive exhaust leaks, and it doesn't help a damn thing that, at least what I can see, 2 bolts are missing, so. Yep, 2 on this side and 1 on the other side, plus 1 loose nut here for the heat cover, so it is FE exhaust leak madness over here. Okay, update guys. So I just said take the valve covers off and check if there's oil pressure. That I did. Nothing. Bone dry. So next step right now is probably gonna pull the engine. It sounds fine. It's not like it sounds like rotten or anything. It sounds like it's valve train. Also, you can tell by the way that it is. Everything valve train related goes approximately half speed of everything in the bottom, because the gear ratio from a crank to the cam wheel or whatever. So it's like 2 rotation per 1 rotation on the crankshaft. Anyway, let's not get so technical, shall we? So right now, I'm gonna pull everything in the engine bay, pull the engine, and then we're gonna do a damage assessment. Because I don't wanna run this thing anymore with a low oil pressure, or 0 oil pressure. So pull the engine right now, and then we'll take it from there.
Told you that I love you, I might have meant it at the time. I might have promised you forever, Lord, I might have changed my mind.
So everything is off the engine bay, including hood, fender and everything, so there's room to come in with the engine hoist or crane or whatever. And the only thing we need right now is engine mount nuts. There's 2 nuts on each side on 2 studs on these FEs. And then of course bell house bolts and torque converter. Remember me to take the torque converter bolts off. Because otherwise I'm just gonna yank that converter and it's gonna be a double homicide bloodbath all over the workshop. We don't want that, nope. Anyway, get it on jacks right now. So the whole thing is like more stable or whatever. Also, I'm gonna take the wheels off and look at brakes. I mean, you actually got brakes right now. When we got it off the trailer, there were brakes, but gonna look over them anyway. We've got like a stock caliber or some weird stuff. But we got brakes. Fingers crossed.
Altså hvis det er den der, så siger de bare en amerikaner. It ain't half bad.
So what we're gonna do right now, valve covers off again, heads, intake, and then we'll take it from there.
If we find something interesting. Something we know right now, it has loads of blow-by / maybe not a lot of compression, and the two front intake valves definitely have worn out valve guides. So we're gonna have to do valves and definitely probably a hone and rings, if not maybe new pistons and board up and something. So yeah, kind of sucks, but that's that.
If I'm being honest, it's easier to lie.
Here we have a push rod, and this end is what rides down on the lifter. It looks nice. It's a round ball head end, so it's in good shape. This is the end where the rocker rides. It looks like a pointy tip. Well, there's a hole in the rock arm for where the oil can sit or whatever. This thing is so worn that it has slowly worn the ball down, and the part that is at the hole, if you will, in the rock arm has not been worn down. Basically, all the material from the tip and down to where it looks like a ball again, it's just worn away, I think. And there's a few of these in the engine. Very worn out.
I have no idea if that's like a normal FE thing when they run bad, like run out of oil and stuff like that, but damn, I have never seen anything like that before. That's like a 1/4 inch of material just taken away, probably because of no oil.
Also, look at the amount of sludge in this engine. It's real bad. Plus we got, for some weird reason, some rust right here. The only place where there's rust is like right here. Anywhere else, nothing. Now here's something you also can see. Some valves sitting taller / higher than some of the other valves. So if you look closely, exhaust here is taller than the intake. Those two seem similar, I think. Here the intake is tall, here the exhaust is taller than the intake too. If you look really closely, these two were kind of equal. And here we have the exhaust is taller again than the intake. On this side, same story, exhaust taller than the intake. These two look fairly similar. Again, exhaust a little bit taller, exhaust a little bit taller, and over here it seems like they are pretty much equal.
Probably got some worn out valve seats too. We're starting to look at just getting new heads at this point, because the machine work here in Denmark, if you think it's expensive in the United States, man, double, quadruple the price here, man. It's insane. Like a valve job here, it's probably run you around 1,200, 1,500. Yeah, it's insane.
Now it's time to lift the most heavy intake in the history of Ford Motor Company or something. I don't know, it's definitely heavy. I think I broke my back. Very nice. And underneath the intake in the block, a lot of oil sludge. Holy shit. So lifters actually look okay, and as far as I can see, the cam right now looks okay too, but I don't know. We'll see when we get it out. But listen to this. First of all, we got like a 1/4 mile of play in the timing chain. It's pretty insane, like nothing just happens. Well, I don't know. I think we are looking at a rod bearing or something here. I can feel it in the crank or whatever, like donk. Yeah, that's not nice. Oh well, let's take the heads off and see what we got going on down in the cylinders. By the way, did I say the oil was like not mint condition, but I mean it looked normal. There was no metal wear, anything like that, and it just smelled a little bit like gas.
I might have promised you forever. Lord, I might have changed my mind.
So there we go, got the puller wheel off. It was kind of stuck, but we got it off now, and it came pretty easy once it's let loose or whatever. Valve cover, sorry, timing chain cover. Let's get that off.
Well, who would have thought removing the two last bolts would actually help the thing get out? Oh, I mean, come on. Look at that! It's a sloppy chain! So this is definitely
what you wanna see, guys. And I mean, it ran, not gonna lie. The engine did run. But next stop, oil pump, oil pan. Well, boys. Ew. Well, this is definitely nice. Nice. Now the good thing is I really don't see any like sparkly stuff, metal stuff, anything like that. So look at that, it has a baffle. Race car FV, man. Because I want to figure out why we don't got oil pressure. I'm gonna show you guys the rod bearing clearance, or not clearance, if you will, right now. As you can see right here, side to side is kind of normal, as there's a little play there, but it just feels like a lot. Plus you also have up and down. You shouldn't really be able to have play on the rod this way. It's quite normal to have a little bit this way, because there's some clearance to the crank itself and also to the other rod, so it doesn't bind. So that's kind of normal, but the up and down, not so good. The positive thing is, I found out this thing is a 390. I don't know if I already said this, but it's a 390. That's kind of cool. So that's pretty nice. Okay, so it's 2 days later or so from when we started the thing up, and I pulled the engine and checked it out and such. And yeah, bottom end was good. I think I'm gonna use some old new bearings that I have laying around still in package and stuff, and then we're gonna throw the bottom end back together with those parts, right? And then top end, we need new heads and push rods. You guys saw those push rods. We need new heads because they are totally done. And well, that requires getting another engine or another head. And hence Denmark / Sweden / I don't know, Europe, whatever, finding FE parts isn't the most common thing, okay? Like small block Ford and Chevy, sure. You start to move into Mopar things and special Ford engines, no. It ain't good. So we're gonna have to end the video here, because I'm not able to go further with this before we have some new heads or something for it. If I want to machine or repair the heads that was already on this engine, that's gonna be the same price as a new engine, and then we might as well just like 351 swap it or 302 swap it or some whole nother direction. So that doesn't make any sense. So I'm gonna wait till I can find some heads, and maybe I'll find some next week, maybe in a month or two. I don't know. Meanwhile, if you guys enjoy revival videos like this, then definitely let me know down below in the comments. This is probably my first proper like bring a car home, see if we can get it running type of video, I guess. And it's really fun. It's really fun to do stuff like this, and also just like you guys can get to see a new vehicle every new video or every new revival or whatever. But yeah, let me know. Part 2 hopefully coming soon if I find a pair of heads in Sweden or in Germany or something. Then we're just gonna throw on some new stock heads and get the thing running, I guess. By the way, kind of cool that it was a 390, but it makes sense, I guess, when it's a Ranger, Campbell Special, and custom cab, and all the big trim packages and stuff. So thank you guys for watching this video. Leave a like and subscribe.